Yeah, everything comes better in twos. We are coming on live to inspire you with years of training and experience. Be strong, work hard with diligence. Sit back, relax, let's have a great time and listen to the information we're about to unwind. Get up, get out, and always strive. Dr. MV speaks strong women, strong lives. Yeah.
No Single Mom Left Behind talk show, everyone. Hello, I am your host, Dr. Michele Vaughn, and my lovely co-host,
Dr. April Stallworth.
Hello, people. We have missed you. Listen, Dr. April Stallworth. The last time we recorded our show, it was in April. Right? It was in April, and we had a wonderful guest, Miss Sharon Epps, who, oh my goodness, she was so awesome and dynamic. She talked about overcoming drug addiction. She talked about losing her kids and getting her kids back, and where she is now as just a mother who's just recovered all. So that was a dynamic show. Then we had a break in between the month of May. I missed you, April. You were flying. You've been in the skies. But now we're back. We're back, people. And I just want to real quickly, with the Teen and Single Mothers Resource Center, we had a wonderful fundraiser, fitness fundathon. People, we raised money for single moms to go back to school, leaving no excuse. Go back to school. We can help you fund your education, your mission as a single mother to help build up your life for your kids. But today, somebody say today. Today, people, we are doing something different. We are at a different location. We are live. We have an audience. Audience, make some noise. What? We are here at Nicasa Behavioral Center in North Chicago, Illinois. So we want to give a big shout out to Nicasa. We are here with their parenting group, and we have a guest with us today who have a powerful story. We cannot wait to hear it. Her name is Quartey, and the topic of our show is the journey to healthy parenting after a broken relationship.
Oh, it's broken.
How do you recover?
Been there, did that
1,000 times. Okay. So a journey to healthy parenting after a broken relationship. So I kind of want to open up the topic a little bit. And how we're going to do, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to kind of appetizer. And then we're going to go to a break. And then Katie's going to come and tell her story. And then Dr. Stallworth is going to just bring us all the way home. She's going to just close it up.
boom,
pow. Okay. So a broken relationship, you're a single mother. How do you begin the renewal process? It's been broken. How do you begin this renewal process? Because your parenting as a single mother must be intentional. It has to be intentional. It can't just be by happen chance. It has to be something that you intend to perfect every single day, because you are now in a role that requires you to pay attention to other people who need you. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. But before we talk about it, I just believe in bringing in some facts, because a lot is happening in this world. It's a lot going on, good and bad. But as it pertains to broken relationships and parenting, I dug up some facts, okay? What we need to understand is that 50% of children in this country will experience a divorce. 50%. They're going to experience a divorce. And 40% of children today in the United States are growing up without a father. They just do not have that male presence, and they don't have that blueprint. So they're sitting in classrooms wondering, what does that look like for me? Right? Okay, so then in this country we have a huge problem. 12 million, there are 12 million single parents in this country. And of the 12 million, 80% are single mothers. 80% are single mothers. That means that 80% of women in this country are charged to raise the next generation. You're charged to teach them character. You're charged to show them what integrity looks like. You're charged to go out and get a job and make sure they have food and clothes. And you're charged to be a model example all by yourself.
Right.
That's heavy already. Okay. And then you have 1.3 million students every year in this country dropping out of high school. They said, forget school. School is not for me. I can't do it. But there's reasons behind all of this. And then 750,000 young ladies are becoming pregnant every year. 750,000 teen pregnancies every year. But see, these are the outcomes to something that was not detected in the beginning. Let's go back to the broken relationships and broken divorce, being a child of a divorced family, etc. What does that look like in terms of your emotional damage?
Right.
There's some emotional damage that takes place.
Absolutely.
Emotional damage is the internal scarring that sometimes you will never find out, and sometimes it's demonstrated through ways of your actions, etc. So what they're saying is that teenage children of divorced parents are 3 times more likely to need psychological help within that same year of the divorce. They need someone to counsel them. They need someone to listen. They need to communicate because it was an adult situation, but it also trickled down because it has something to do with the kids. They also communicate that, you know, kids who experience a divorce, there are lower results in their school activity. They can't concentrate. A lot of things are taking place. You know, physical damage after a breakup. There's a physical damage that takes place as well. It said children of divorced parents are 50% more likely to develop health problems than children who come from 2-parent families. Health problems, stress. You're thinking about all these things that tie into your physical well-being. And then the long-term effect, which is a very sad case, and I can relate really well to this, is that 70% of long-term prison inmates grew up in a broken home. 70% of inmates grew up in a broken home. So how do you fix something that has been broken? How do you do this? Me as a single mom, you know, my ex-husband is spending 25 years behind bars. And so for me, when we first became married, we were young. We didn't know what I do meant. We just tried to turn our lemons into lemonade. But he is now spending 25 years in prison out of a decision that he decided to make. That left me in a position where I had to buckle up. I had to go back to school. I had no other choice. Either do I want to be in the public aid line for the rest of my life, or do I want to be in the empowerment line and help change people's lives and let my son see that although it's just me, you still can be the best that you can be. Amen. So that was the blueprint that I decided to make for myself. So how did I recover? Because I believe that, like any relationship, it's like a house. You know, a house, you see a house is torn down, it's the windows are cracked and it's broken, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Because just like any relationship, and when you come from that broken relationship, and when you're no longer married, and you now have your charge to do this on your own, you have to begin to deconstruct some things. Okay, come on. You got to deconstruct. That means that you have to evaluate everything in that house that's broken, that is not salvageable. You got to evaluate that relationship, figure out where do we go wrong, figure out how do I communicate better. Can I forgive myself?
Yes.
You got to forgive yourself. You got to, because parenting doesn't come with the manual, people. It just does not come with the manual. So you have to forgive yourself for ill-spoken words in front of your kids about the spouse that you chose to have a child with, or children. Because now you're trying to rebuild the house so it can be worth something. Wow. You're rebuilding your family so it can be worth something. So now you're charged to speak words of life into your kids. So you cannot speak negative things about the spouse in front of your kids. Right. Because that's just not healthy. That's not a part of the rebuilding process. That's not a tool that you want to use in terms of your advantage, in terms of rebuilding that house. Yeah. And then you have to be patient in the renewal process. Listen, just like construction, you have cones all around you. You are not ready to date. Listen, come on, let's be real. Okay, we're not ready to go have no popcorn. Okay, we're not ready to do that. Stay home. Listen,
you ain't ready.
But you know what we do? You know, I've done it. We jump in prematurely. We're not emotionally available. We're still damaged. We're angry. We don't trust. But yet we're lonely. Lonely for what? Audit yourself. Because if it's just physical, that passes by. But what are you lonely for? So you have to begin, as a single mother, begin to audit yourself. And you have to be patient in the renewal process of rebuilding that. So you can give your kids that blueprint that they deserve to have. And you can begin to build up that home that was once broken after the relationship. It's possible, people. My name is Dr. Michele Vaughn. I just gave you an appetizer. We're about to go to a quick break. And when we come back, guess what? We're going to have a wonderful guest. She's going to tell you her story. She's going to be real with you. And she has a powerful testimony. Please do not log off from this particular session. My name is Dr. Michele Vaughn.
Dr. April Stallworth.
We'll be back soon.
Audience, we need you. We need you.
Single Mom Left Behind TV talk show where I'm your host, Dr. Michele Vaughn, and my lovely co-host,
Dr. April Stallworth.
People, we have a wonderful guest with us today, but I am not going to introduce her because I didn't meet her first. I'm going to allow my lovely co-host to do the honors of introducing our lovely guest. Will you introduce her?
And I just caught that.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. So, how I met, this is my first time actually physically meeting our guest today, but I was at a church, Emmanuel Church in Gurney, Illinois, and I was visiting there that Sunday, and I saw this powerful video testimonial that our guest gave, and it really hit me and stayed with me, and I thought about having her as a guest on the show, and then one thing led to another, 5 things led to 10, and here she is today. It was just faith that brought all this all together. So I'm so happy she could join us and could be here with us today, and I want her to share her story and her life with you, because I know it's going to not only inspire you, but it's going to encourage somebody who's dealing with some of the same things that Katie has overcome. And so we're going to get to all of that in a minute, but first let's welcome Katie Quartey to the Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Katie. So we're going to take a few minutes and allow you to introduce yourself to our audience and just share whatever you want about who you are.
Who is Kate?
Yeah.
Who am I? I'm a mom.
Okay.
I have 2 boys. They're 14 and 19.
We praying for you, Katie.
I need it. I work full time. I take care of them. They're both. My oldest is still at home, so yeah, just run around with them. I'm an executive assistant for work. That's me in a nutshell.
You don't look like you're from around these parts.
Right.
I was born and raised in the Bay Area in California. Came out here about 9 years ago. So I've become acclimated. I don't love it, but I'm here.
Okay. I can understand that.
But yep.
I'm a transplant too.
Jersey
all day. Y'all can hear it in my voice or whatever. So this video testimonial that I saw, which featured you, can you tell us how that came about, how you were asked to be in that, and then just share your journey of what you put out there in that testimonial, because it's powerful.
Okay.
It's powerful.
Well, how I was asked to do it, I'm a member of the church. I've been taking a class there for a couple years now called VP3. So I've been kind of integrated with the people at the church. And so I got a text one day from a girl that I know, kind of works, those type of things. So right when I got her text, I was like, darn it. And so she asked me to do the video, and as much as I didn't want to, okay. And that's kind of how it worked out with you. She sent me an email, and do you want to do this show? And no, I don't. And then it just, okay, I guess this is what I'm, I think everything that's kind of coming at me that my instant reaction is no, is I'm at least listening to, okay, God, got it, I'll do this. So just stepping outside of my box.
Love it.
It's not fun, but whatever.
Yep. All that stuff I totally relate to. There are things that we just fear doing. Or that we have an unction to want to do something, but then sometimes when the opportunity is presented to us, we turn the other way.
Right.
But there's purpose in everything, and there's a lesson, and there's a call on everybody's life.
Right.
And so I'm glad that today you overcame that fear and said, I'm going to do it anyhow.
Right.
Joyce Meyer says that all the time.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Do it afraid.
I'll tell you I'm not happy while I'm doing it, but I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we can relate to that.
Right.
I have a question. So we're talking about broken relationships and single parenting. Tell us about your experience in the broken relationship, or your experience. How did you become a single mother today? What was that journey? We want to know your story.
I think I was a single mom a couple of times over, but rewind. I had three kids. It's so weird to say how many you have. I never quite got over that. So was with their dad since I was 15. And so when I was about, I went through a lot. My middle guy was born with a chromosome disorder. I was 25 when he was. That's a lie. I was 23 when he was born. And then by the time I was 29, I had found out that my husband was cheating on me. We tried to stay together for about a year, and I just completely disconnected myself. He came home one day, and I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I can't. And that was kind of that. About a month later, he shot me and killed himself.
Oh, wow. He shot you.
Yes. Yep. I was in the hospital for a couple weeks.
Wow.
And it wasn't my time. I wasn't meant to go. So
Amen.
here I am.
Oh, that's a lot to recover.
Hey, we gotta just we just take that in.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
So then, from that moment, that's heavy. How did you transition from that moment to the next moment? What was that next moment? How did you get here?
I got lost. I got lost and I ran. And I'm in Illinois. So I think I probably got lost for a good, probably 3 or 4 years. I moved in with my mom after that, and I'm at home with mom, so I let that be at home with mom, and I took off. So I got brought out here by a guy. I was running away. He was abusive as well, so that lasted less than a year, and then now I'm on my own in Illinois. I just, when my middle guy, I guess rewind, when I was with the guy that I was out here with, my middle guy passed away. And something like, I didn't grow up with God. I didn't grow up knowing him. I mean, I was happy, but I didn't go to church. My family didn't go to church. And something about Jared always made me feel like he knows God. Like, he was just more problems than any of us could ever realize or know, and he was the happiest guy I've ever met in my life. Just constantly happy. And so when he passed away, something inside me just thought, I'm going to see him again. And I started going to church, and that was that. I didn't look back, and some just light came on inside of me, and that was that. I've been able to look back at my story through this VP3 class. It's called Vantage Point 3 that I've been taking. It's a Christian leadership course, but the first year of it is basically kind of finding yourself. And we were charged in that class to write our life story, which they give you like 2-3 months to do it because you procrastinate about 2 or 3 months of that. But then you kind of write your story, and you're able to look at it from, I guess, a God's point of view, and wow, he really guided me all the way to here I am. So I'm just, I don't know, I live in the moment. I'm really good at being in the moment. You'll find me staring at sunsets, and there's so many other choices I could make that wouldn't be as fun and peaceful, so why make those ones?
Wow. So then, because that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Wow, okay. So, but you're still here today.
Yeah.
You're a single mother, and you have two sons.
Yeah.
How important now, because you have still a long life ahead.
Yeah.
So how important now is your faith in God?
I think that it was pivotal for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's pivotal. That's all I can say. It's behind every decision that I make now.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it all the time. Like, you know, I used to take no's or defeats, or, you know, just these last like 3-4 months I was unemployed. And, you know, I go on an interview and didn't get the job, and people are like, oh, I'm so sorry. And those are the things where I'm like, no, it wasn't meant to be. Like, that's an easy no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, for me, the no's and the closed doors are, for some reason, I feel peace with that, because I'm like, oh, God very clearly said no. And I went, okay.
Mm-hmm. You trust him.
I trust the no's. It's when he gives you the yes where you're like, I don't know, should I?
Mm-hmm.
But the no's are easy to trust. They're very clear.
That is so, isn't that good? Many of us, we do not trust the no's. We take the no as rejection.
Yeah.
That's not about me.
Right.
But no, I think the no's are so, it's so solid. They're very easy to trust.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So then the other question I have is, you know, you've gone through a lot, and here you are today. You know, how has what you've gone through shaped your parenting today? And are you protective when it comes to men being around your children? And where are you right now with that? Are you dating? Are you not focused on that?
I mess up a lot.
We all do.
Still, I think I have a better picture of where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But with the boys, my oldest is very opinionated, so I tend to not do anything really in front of him, just to not, like, I call him the husband I can't divorce.
Literally.
Literally. But so yeah, I think with them, I've just been, I think just figuring out my brokenness so much has allowed me to deal with their brokenness a little bit more.
Right.
Like, you know, the other day I spilled wine on the floor, and wine on the floor. And I was so mad, and I'm cleaning it up, and I was mad at myself, and I instantly thought, if they would have spilled this or anything, I would have got really, really mad at them. You know, and then it was a learning moment for me, because I was like, well, I got mad at them for something I just did. And so
We do that.
I totally do that. So, you know, my oldest got into a car accident like 2-3 weeks ago, and there's nothing that, like, he's like, I'm so sorry, Mom, and I'm like, you didn't try to hit the guy. So I think I allow their brokenness. You know, they still, I'm sure they'd have a whole lot of other words they would have to describe me at times. But I mess up, but it's all out of love. And, you know, if they could just get that through their head, that, seriously, I know I'm driving you nuts right now, but I love you.
Yeah.
So
It's difficult raising sons.
To
be, it is. Because boys are different from girls. They are protectors. Naturally, they just want to protect. They want to be solution-oriented,
Right.
solve your problem.
and then on the flip side, they don't talk. They don't,
Right.
like, I see my girlfriends that have girls, and they know all about their lives. I'm like, I don't even know where he's at tonight. My oldest, you know, you get one word, so you kind of have to dig, but then you can't, like, you know, it's such a fine line. It's such a fine line. And you're like, if I get, you know, where he's at and when he'll be home, that's a victory. That's about as much as I got.
Wow. So then tell us, you know, moving forward, you said you live in the moment, but do you have a passion? Is it something that you believe God has called and placed on your life after what you have gone through? Because you didn't just go through just to go through. You went through you went to grow through.
Right. Because
we grow through experiences. You grow intentionally.
Right.
What is your passion? What do you believe that you're called to do moving forward in life?
Again, I'm still lost. I think I'm just kind of coming upon that in my life. And I think it is kind of just not necessarily using what has happened to me, because I don't, when I got a phone call and I told you about this single mom thing, I hate that word. I do. I'm sorry. But I think it's because, and I am one, and But I think it's just because if I identify myself with things that have happened in my life, man, I got a whole lot of really bad things I got to start identifying myself with. And, you know, being in an abusive relationship and being a single mom, it is all a part of what I went through, but it's not who I am.
Exactly.
And so as much as like that happened, I don't love talking about it, so this wasn't cool. But I like to be able to get across to people, I think that, like, you're not your circumstances, you're not what you've been through.
That's good.
And if I, you know, and the same on the plus side, like, I mean, I'm cool when happy things happen to me, but I don't hang my hat on them the same way I don't when something bad happens to me. Like, it's just life. It just happens. Like, you just gotta roll with it. I mean, it's really all you can do.
Right.
So I think, like, in the future, I'd love to be able to just kind of walk alongside others and in the Christian faith and just let them know that, like, you know, life is not going to get better when you get to know God. You don't all of a sudden get your prayers answered. Like, one of my favorite quotes is, God hears you, he answers your prayers. Sometimes it's no. That is your answer. And I feel so confident in, I think, again, back at my story, I didn't grow up with a man in my life at all. I grew up with a single mom. And all along through life, maybe I was looking for one, maybe I wasn't, I don't know, but one day it just clicked when I was in my class, and I'm like, I found him. And that's the guy that's been meaning to kind of fill the hole. And so I think I just want, you know, other people to know that, you know, I know you're searching and you know, finding something to fill something, and, you know, I still search, but I'll catch myself and pull myself back and go, okay, no, I'm at peace. I'm at peace with where I'm at. And, you know, I'll remind myself of that, and I'll pick back up the Bible. And, you know, I've never put down the Bible, just kind of the same with going to gym. I've never left the gym and went, man, that was a waste of my time. So I've never put down the Bible and go, that sucked. Like, it always fills me up.
Wow. That's good, because I think oftentimes we as women, we go through a lot of different broken situations, and like you were talking about, I did this, I can associate with that, you know, drug use, whatever it is, and we hide those things. Right? We hide those things because either we're ashamed or we don't believe that there's greater for us. And not realizing that once you release that, it heals another person. And then it's just a trickle down effect, right? Because no one on this planet is perfect. No. Where are they? No. Right? So I think the more and more we can empower one another through our telling of our story, then that's where change the day. Life is just not fair. No, right? It's just not fair. Do you have any questions for Katie?
Wow. So you talked about your mom.
Yep.
And so I'm taking from that she was really instrumental in you kind of healing, or the time you spent with her? Or what went on there?
I'm not talking about my, but, well, no, I lived with her for, I did probably 3-4 months before I, you know, got myself a house, and we kind of moved on from there. And
did you have a good relationship with her?
Yeah, I do. I have a good relationship with my mom. We do well living far from each other.
Okay.
I love you, Mom. But, so she comes out to visit me every whatever. I honestly think my journey to finding God pushed her to it. So that it kind of went the other way. But no, we talk all the time. She's still my mom. I get sick and I want my mom. So I definitely have a good relationship with her.
That's good. That's good. And clearly your faith is huge.
Yes.
In your life. And, you know, for us, we're Christian, like we are. But whatever, you know, because we can't judge anybody else's walk. But there's something greater.
Absolutely.
There's something greater. But, and so I'm taking from your story that, you know, that as we as women, we're searching. You said it's always kind of like searching for something. I think just as humanity, and we're gonna fill it with something. Be it, like you said, drugs, sex, men, relationships, material things, whatever. those are only going to be temporary fill-ups.
Right.
And when you talked about, having been in the one relationship that was clearly abusive, where you were
Right.
harmed, and then you went to another relationship,
Right.
there was something you were searching for. There's something within you that was drawing you to those.
Well, I think we all have that hole. I mean, it's how we were designed. We were designed with God in us, and so when that hole is there, we want to fill it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm pulling.
Right.
That is huge
Right.
from your story, and I'm so glad that you found in your faith what you needed, and that you're still here. She's still here.
I'm still here.
After having you've been shot,
Yes.
Here.
your ex-husband's deceased,
Yep.
and you lost your son,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you're still here with a vision for yourself to help other people.
The vision. Yeah. That would be so awesome.
It's going to be.
That's what's happening right here. It's
Right.
manifesting right here.
Right.
So, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming on our show to share your story. I know that many women will be blessed by hearing your testimony, and this is just how it starts. One story at a time, and it's not a small story. It's
Right.
major, and just get ready. Because you're going to take off. You're
Yep.
going to take off whether you like to or not.
Right, whether you want to or not.
Yeah. But we're gonna keep in contact with you if you don't mind. And we just, do our audience have any questions for Katie before we release Katie?
I don't have any questions, but with the part with your boyfriend, I can relate because my best friend, that happened to her, and now my son was a witness, and they both passed away. And I can relate. And right now, my son, it happened when he was 9, but he's 13.
My son was 9 when this happened, and he was there.
Yeah, he was there. And the crazy part, before the young gentleman took my friend, he told my son the third bullet was for me. And they found the third bullet in the chamber, but I just happened to leave that day. Something was telling me to leave, and I left.
Wow.
I wasn't even gone an hour, and that accident happened.
Wow.
So I can relate on that situation. I think about it a lot, but my son, they say as he get older, he probably can, because he's so quiet now, he still had nightmares and say the owls coming to get him, but I can relate to that.
Wow.
I'm so happy you still strong.
Right.
That's good.
So glad you're still here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That
Yes.
divine-
Was meant.
Yes. And when
Wow.
he calls you, he listens. And I got a bad gut feeling that day, and I left.
You listened.
And that what
Amen.
happened.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wow.
Flatline.
Wow. So we're going to conclude our interview with you. We want to thank you so much for joining us. Let's give her a hand. And we're going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our closing topic, healthy relationship tips with Dr. April Stallworth. Be back soon, people.
Welcome back to the No Single Mom Left Behind online radio, TV, talk show. I'm your co-host, Dr. April Stallworth, and our host,
Dr. Michele Vaughn.
and we just had our guest on, Katie Quartey.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing
Yes.
testimony, just filled with so much faith, perseverance, hope, just getting over, just all of that. It was so full.
It was
rich.
so full. It was so rich because I'm thinking after being shot and then losing one of your kids and still having hope and still having a vision to not a selfish vision.
Right.
But she
Not a
said, I
victim.
want to come alongside other people
Right.
and help other people.
Right.
Not everyone can recover like that.
No.
So that's
No.
why it was key that we had this particular guest on our
Yes.
show today. So
Yes.
what are you going to talk about?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about when I,
Miss Jersey.
right, when I was crazy back in the day, and I was running around
Okay.
trying to fill myself up with what we talked about, relationships, and trying to fill that void that was within myself that could not be filled by the things I was trying to fill it with. I learned a lot of things. Went through a lot of unhealthy relationships, borderline abusive relationships, definitely emotionally abusive. But I signed up for them over and over and over again. Nobody was forcing me into them. And so now, as I reflect on that and I coach other women, I try to help them understand exactly what they're doing and then some ways they can avoid some of those traps that unfortunately as women we fall into. And I found this great quote that I love, and it says, if you try to build intimacy, try to build a connection with another person before you have done the difficult work of getting whole and healthy on your own, all your relationships become an attempt to complete yourself and will fall flat.
Wow.
The best gift you could ever give in a relationship is to work on who you are.
Yourself. Yourself.
Work on you. Be in the process of doing your work. Because if you bring that into your next relationship, it's a gift to your partner. If they do that, it's a gift to you. Because, you know, you always hear that line, like, I'm looking for somebody who completes me. That's not fair to another person, to have that burden to complete you. I'm looking for somebody that compliments me. Compliments me. That, you know, he's 100% whole, I'm 100% whole, and we are whole together. I don't want half, and then I'm half to make, you know, a whole that way. Come to your relationship whole already.
Right.
So that's what we have to do as women. We have to have our healthy relationship begin with us. Some of the ways we can do that is we have to take responsibility for who we are, what we're bringing to the table, and tell the truth. Tell the truth about ourselves, to ourselves. Sometimes, you know, we get kind of stuck in this fantasy reality.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Stop it. Don't do that. And the other thing one of the other things we do is, and I've talked about this before, is living in the spirit of after. Okay? Don't live in the spirit of after. When I say the spirit of after, I'm talking about after I get myself together, then life's going to be good. After I get me a husband, then life's going to be good. After I pay off this debt. After I go to school. After I do. No, your life is here and it's now.
That's good.
Katie talked about that.
She did.
Living in the present. It's not after anything. Today is the gift that you've been given. Watch your words. Watch what you're speaking out of your mouth. Your words have life. That's really important. Tighten up the circle that you have around you. Talk about this all the time. About the people that you allow to speak into your life, the people that you're keeping company with. That's huge. These are all the things to have a healthy relationship, beginning with yourself. Getting healed, getting whole, getting restored from the things that you've been through. You know, Kate talked about not identifying necessarily with your circumstance, that you're not your circumstance, you're greater than that. You need to get healed from that. And every time, like, I can feel it when Katie's talking, you get healed every time you talk about your testimony and the things that you've been through. And not only are you healing yourself, but someone else is drawing from your strength and they're getting healed in their own circumstances. And this is something that I used to do all the time. And I have, we have the list. A lot of times women have the list. I want this, and I want that, and he got to be this, and he got to be that, and what about this, and what about that, and what about this? Are you those things?
Come on.
How about you be the kind of woman a man or the partner that you're looking for is going to be drawn to, okay? Because if he's this, that, and that, he's looking for a woman that's this, that, and that. Are you that? Be that kind of woman. Be the right woman. Focus on being who you need to be in the relationship. And then in terms of dating, sometimes I think we just really put ourselves out there too quick, too fast. I had to personally, for myself, I had to start focusing on friendship.
There you go.
Not romance. Understanding who a person is, what their goals are, what their dreams are, what their visions are. Let's focus on this friendship and figure out who we are with each other, then rushing right into a romantic relationship. Because for me, that always ended in disaster, quick. And we're all grown here. Sometimes you gotta abstain. You gotta put the sexual relationship to the side
all the way,
and just get to know somebody. Don't be so quick to move into that sort of relationship before you really know who that person is. Again, the compliment, not complete. I don't want someone that completes me. I want someone that compliments me. And then, ladies, let's stop hunting. I've talked about this before. Let's stop the hunting. Let's stop hunting after.
Where are you at?
Yeah, we're hunting. So think about an animal when they're being hunted. What do? They run the other way.
Right.
Why are we hunting men? Why are we hunting people? Don't hunt. Be more like a fisherman, okay? With bait. Attract the right person into your life. And the way you're able to attract the right person into your life is when you become the right woman. Then the right man or, partners start coming in that are complementary to who you are. But if you broke down, tore up, sad, ridiculous, angry, mad, that's the kind of person you're going to attract. And I'm going to end like I always do. Boom. Thank you so much. I'm done.
You done? You said a lot. So you said a lot. So here's the bottom line to the entire picture, the entire show. We're talking about healthy parenting after a broken relationship. Katie was very honest as she could be about her story and how she is recovering. There's no end point, I'm recovered. No, you are in recovery and discovery as you are a mother, because your children are getting older and you have not parented. I don't know how to parent my son who's 19 right now, because he's 19 and I'm just learning how to parent a 19-year-old young man who's want to be independent, but yet he needs me. So we're going to have to work that out. So, but how do you recover? I just believe that with everything that was said, with your closing comments, auditing yourself, checking yourself. If you have all this list of build a bear, build a man, what are you doing to build within yourself? Because most importantly, I just believe as a mother, we need to be protective about the characters and the influences that come inside of our children's lives. That's the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be held accountable for what we have allowed to come inside of our homes, etc. I don't believe in discrediting the other parent just because we didn't work out. Right. I believe that, you have to be in a position where you have to grow up mentally and you have to mature. So you can continue to be the forefront parent for your kids. Hopefully you were able to be inspired today. You received some nuggets of hope today that it is possible to create this new blueprint. Even though your home has been damaged, you can deconstruct and rebuild with new tools in your hand as a single mother. My name is Dr. Michele Vaughn. This is my lovely co-host,
Dr. Stallworth.
Please visit our website at www.teenandsinglemom.com. We have a nonprofit organization where all we do is empower single mothers to be the best that they can be. In addition, learn about what we're doing all the time on our Facebook fan page, facebook.com/TSMRC. Until next time, people, we will see you again. Join our YouTube video. You will see this on YouTube in our Ustream TV talk show. We'll see you again next month. We don't know who the guest is going to be, but we're going to have a guest, and we're going to come back live to inspire you once again. See you again, people. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Just give me a moment and I can testify. I'm alive when I could have been left to die. Now I'm seeing it with desperate eyes, and I'm praying that the Father would keep me from being westernized. Dag man, I'm in a great mood. It's a cinematic moment, I'ma take two. My only job is to stay tuned. Press in, get close to the Father's heart while He makes moves.
Now I've been on the run since Tariq and B the guns had that one hit wonder. No wonder I'm going under my lungs.